My name is Brian Jessop. I'm from Saskatoon, Canada, and I brought a 68 FL Shovelhead. The bike is, essentially a muscle bike. It's a 68 FL motor. Not really recognizable as that anymore. It's got some wild rocker boxes from Finland, Kennedy-style rocker boxes. Dual magneto setup on it with a one-off custom cam cover for that. It's a 4 3/4 inch stroker in a single loop frame built by Ben Jeff in Indiana. Paint by a good friend of mine, Cole Jaybush, from Saskatoon as well. Yeah, it's just a straight up kind of 80s style muscle bike. Late 80s, early 90s. Italian brakes, Italian Seriani front end. Kind of got some oddball parts on it, stuff you don't maybe normally see, but that's what kind of gets my juices flowing. It was an accomplishment, it was a lot of work, but I'm really proud of the bike. I've kind of done everything as far as choppers go. I did the 60s choppers for a long time. Still love those bikes. I built a stock panhead. I acquired an old club bike that was like an 80s tough guy club bike. It was a local bike, has a lot of local history, and I've always appreciated kind of the muscle bike scene, but I didn't know a lot about it. I was just very ingrained in other types of bikes. And then when I got that bike, I kind of dug deep into it. And when I dig into something, I dig in pretty deep. Started changing the style of bikes I was building and just having a lot of fun with these bikes now. And they're a blast to ride, so, The external oil drains from the top end, that's basically an old Indian Larry thing. Somebody probably did it before him. It's probably an old drag bike mod. And basically, it's cooler oil. The oil isn't draining through the cylinders like on a standard Shovelhead. So the oil drains externally, cools the oil. There's a few other things about it, being big bore cylinders and that it has advantages, but yeah. The most time-consuming part of the build was just all the handmade parts. I made a lot of parts out of aluminum. I've had a mill and a lathe for a long time, and I've basically just made, spacers, axles, modified stock parts, different things like that. And I wanted to really push myself on this build to basically design some new parts, make them myself. I did all my own polishing, all my own machining, and yeah, there's a lot of hours on the mill and the lathe for sure. The piece that I'm most proud of that I made is probably the belt cover. It's a lot of hours again, machining, welding. I basically took a stock inner primary from an electric start bike. I sectioned it, I narrowed it. I made an outer cover for it. I made internal linkage inside the cover for the shifting. So all the linkage is basically between the belt inside the cover. So that would be the part I'm most proud of that I made. The part that I'm probably the most proud of on the bike is the cam cover that Chris Weiss partnered up with me on, and it was my idea, his design, his machining, and it's just such a cool part. Super proud of that. I wanted basically a blank shell for the tank for my bike. I wasn't going to make one from scratch because it's not necessary with the parts available now. But I looked at all the shells that were available on the market. I looked at the Throttle Addiction one, loved the shape, ordered it up, got it home. I didn't have to do much to it. I sectioned out a little bit off the bottom, and the shape is perfect. It's got just the right taper, just the right height, just the right width, and it turned out killer. Big shout out to Ben Jeff for the frame, Cole Jaybush, and my boy Seasick on the paint, and B&C Cycles on the seat. Anybody else that just kind of helped me out along the way, and of course Mike and Grant with Born Free for giving me this opportunity. My name is Brian Jessop. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, and you can follow me on Instagram at Jessop Cycle, or I guess that's it.